Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. Another exciting show, definitely another exciting guest. Today we're going to talk about something that's very interesting, but much needed. Let me tell you where we're about to go. Everybody is working a 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by. What a way to make a living. I don't know the rest of the words, but you get where I'm trying to go here. So just imagine, if you will, being a part of that system. We all have been. But imagine, if you will, the ability to shift that mindset, to come out of that construct of 9 to 5, a system that's based on labor. And then hopefully there's a reward. And I use the word hopefully. Today on the show, we have a young lady that has gone through a metamorphosis, trauma, addiction, divorce, and said, you know what? I'm tired of the 9 to 5 too. And decided to do something about it. Let's welcome to the show, Miss Misty Mount. What's up, Missy?
Thank you so much. It is such an honor, and I'm so grateful to be here. This is such a beautiful opportunity.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. I looked at your notes. I look at your social media post, and I just see so much quantum energy. Notice I use the word quantum. Quantum energy, like resonating from you. But
Thank you.
that wasn't always the situation with you. So before we get into what we call the past in your future, let's talk a little bit about the past. Who exactly is Misty Mount?
Ooh. so, I am from Gallipolis, Ohio, right? Raised by a great family. Got into drugs super young. Been to prison. That didn't do it for me. It just didn't do it for me. So I went through years of addiction after prison, and rehab after rehab after rehab. And then I ended up becoming a coordinator for one of the rehabs that I was a client in. And that gave me purpose. It really did. I thought that was my purpose, And
What were you in prison for?
So my charge was permitting drug use on my property.
What does that mean? I'm kind of dumb to that.
So I was selling drugs.
You was a drug dealer.
I was growing weed. I was doing it all.
How old were you?
My drug of choice was meth.
How old were you in this place? How old were you?
So I went to prison in 2010.
Okay.
And I was there for a year. They gave me a year. And I got out. I went to a halfway house, and then some trauma happened to me, and it sent me completely down another horrible road. And that's when I was in jail, rehab.
What kind of trauma? What kind of trauma happened to you?
So, sex trafficking.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I'm writing a book about it, actually. It's going to be my second book. It's called The Seven Sisters. And so, yeah. And it's not very uncommon, actually. The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm realizing that there's so many women out there that this has happened to, and they just don't speak about it because we're taught to just shove it down and not to talk about it. We're taught that, don't do this and don't do that. But it's like, no, I think it's time that we speak about the things that's uncomfortable. I use these things as a catalyst to do what I'm about to do in the future, to make sure that we build a society that is protecting, and where women don't have to worry about these things. It's and that's down.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but let's go back. Man, I'm like blown away here. Okay.
I don't talk about it. Most people are. I don't talk about this very often.
Around what age did you start your prison sentence? About what age? How long have you been dealing? This is like three questions. And then how long have you been dealing in meth? And more importantly, how did you get entangled with sex trafficking?
Well, that wasn't by choice. That wasn't by choice. It's not. So I was taken.
Okay, what do you mean you was taken? You was walking to the grocery store. You was leaving the meth house. I mean, how was you taken?
Going to the bus in Columbus, Ohio. I was in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah.
Okay, you was going to the bus.
I was there. I don't know how long I was even there. I tell people 6 months, but I don't even know how long I was actually in this place. I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay, so let me get some clarity, and this may be hard to talk about. I'm glad you're coming on the show to talk about it. I wasn't prepared for this one. So I used to live in Columbus. I used to live in Gahanna and Hilliard. So I know Columbus, but you on your way to the bus and was there people around?
Not really. It was in Westerville.
I know where Westerville's at.
Yeah, not really. There wasn't a lot of people around. I was working at a Great Clips in Westerville, and so I was in a halfway house. So I had just left prison, right? And I was in this halfway house called the Rachel's Program. I don't know if you're familiar with that, maybe. No. But anyways, it's this wonderful halfway house, and they help you. They taught me how to ride the bus because, I'd never rode the bus before. I didn't know what I was doing. So, they taught me how to ride the bus. They helped me get my beauty license back because I used to do hair. And they helped me get my beauty license back. And the next thing you know, I'm like this assistant manager at Great Clips, and, everything's going great. I get my own place and all the things. Everything was looking great. And I was waiting on the bus to come home.
And what happened? Somebody in a black
and there was nobody around. It was dark. It was like, I'm going to guess 10:15 at night.
And the buses run that
the last thing I remember was getting hit.
What do you mean getting hit in the back of the head?
Just getting hit, yeah. Just getting hit.
Were you aware of your surroundings? Because Westerville is not a bad community in
Not
Ohio.
At all. It's a beautiful, yes, sir, beautiful community.
So you wasn't even paying. Well, let me rephrase it. Because
no, sir. I'm sorry. I keep calling you sir. I was not paying attention. No. Right. No way.
I mean, you don't really need to in Westerville. You got Westerville, Dublin, Hilliard. Yeah, Dublin, Hilliard. That's a pretty nice stretch of land in the community. So I get it. You're not really paying attention because that's considered a safe neighborhood. So you get hit on the back of the head, and then next thing you know, you're at a different location. Then what happens?
Mm-hmm. Then what happens? I was in Kentucky.
You was in, how did you know you was in Kentucky? How did you know you was in Kentucky? How did you know you was in Kentucky?
Because when I left, there was 7 of us that left together.
They had kidnapped 7 women?
There was more than just 7. It was like a whole warehouse full. No, I won't want to say warehouse. I'm going to guess there was a lot of women in there. But I don't really remember. Here's the thing. Whatever they were doing to the girls, I don't know. Whatever they were giving us, I don't remember. Like, it was almost like, imagine maybe a mushroom trip with speed or something. I don't know. It was very weird. In fact, some of the girls, they didn't want to leave because they thought that the abusers was going to come back and they wanted the drugs. They were withdrawing and they didn't want to come with me.
You know this. I was not prepared for this today.
You ready for something even crazier?
Yeah, please tell me.
Later on in life, I become a coordinator for the sober house, right? I start working with prisons. And one day a prison called me up and had this woman, and so anyways, I was like, yeah, we'll take her. We'll take her in. She comes in, and so they would tag the ear of the girls. I had gauges in my ears at the time, and they ripped mine out. And so I noticed her ear was messed up like mine, and it hit me. I knew who she was, and I said something to her about it. The next day, she ended up ODing on me in that rehab.
Really? She was in the place with you.
She was with me. She remembered me as well. She was like, you're Yep. We left there together. Yep.
Okay, so let's slow down a little bit. A little bit. I know this is like, wow.
My heart's beating so fast.
When you
I
were
have a
there,
mustache of sweat.
when you was there with these other women, what was the first thing that happened to you when you was there? What did they do to you? You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
So they pretty much had you guys under the influence?
No, we were all loose, like, you know what I mean? We walk around, we were talking to each other, but I don't it's all like in these weird, what is that called? Like segments.
But I'm trying to understand, like...
You want to know what the police did? They separated us all. Put me in a domestic violence house. That's what and then the other girls, well, the one ended up in prison and later came to the sober house I was working for, but I don't know what happened to them. I have no idea. They completely separated us and then nothing happened. Nothing. So, I didn't tell the story for so long because it's kind of nothing happened. You know what I mean?
Why kidnap you if nothing?
It's not a good story to tell, It's not for a long time I didn't think it was a good story to tell because where's the for some of the other women, where's the happy ending in that for them, And I can tell you it looked like a barn on the outside, but on the inside it looked more like a warehouse.
But what were they doing with you guys there? What was the purpose?
Oh, so there's what I know and from what I remember, they would bring in, I say just like it's nothing. They would bring in men and men would pay and then they would do whatever.
So basically they dope you up and you was prostitutes. Did you have...
Yep.
And these places had to be off grid where nobody knew. Did you were there regular men that was coming? Like they had to have regular people that was coming to see you guys all the time. You know what I mean? Because in order to have something like that, you got to have regular customers. So did you have a regular person that was coming to involve himself with you that you felt comfortable that you can tell, hey, I'm not supposed to be here?
Oh, heck no, sir. No. They were all evil. I knew better. Nope. You want to know what? So they were they threatened us. There was cameras, they said. Well, they just didn't return back is what happened. They just didn't come back. And I called bullcrap on the cameras. And so we just all left.
What do you mean you all left?
7 of us left. The other ones didn't want to come. They just stayed there because they didn't want to come.
When you left, what do you mean you just left?
I just left. I said, they ain't coming back. It's been a week. Usually it's like once a week they show up with people, you know? And so, yeah.
Well, how did you guys eat, take showers, medical
yeah.
facilities?
They, what do you, so everything that we needed was there. You see what I'm saying? The showers, all of it was there. We could move around. It was almost like Stockholm syndrome with some of these people. They just didn't want to leave.
You know, this sounds like something from a sci-fi.
A horror movie? Yeah, I know.
Nobody was conjulant. Nobody had the frame of mind to say, I shouldn't be here. The drugs were that powerful that
the ones that had that state of mind left with me. And there were 7 of us. I have 7 stars on my neck representing us 7 girls.
Where are the other girls that you know about? Do you know where they at? The ones that left with you? What did you guys do?
What do you mean? What did we do?
Like when you left, who created the plan to escape? Like you didn't even know where you were at.
Yeah, this literally happened just like I said. I said, I don't think these cameras are working. You guys are scared to leave this room when I don't even think these cameras are working. I call bullcrap. Let's leave.
And then you start walking. Where did you wind up walking to? Where did you wind up? How long
this interstate. On this interstate.
You was you walked to the interstate. Then what happened?
I seen the Kentucky Bridge. We walked in woods until I seen the Kentucky Bridge. But this isn't the story that I like telling. It ain't. This ain't the story that I like telling.
What story do you like to tell?
Where I'm at now. Because so that it's almost like the story that I haven't said anything to, because why? Why tell anyone? This is the way that I was, thinking. The police know, they knew, nothing was done. Okay, nothing was done. There's not really a happy ending in it except for me.
So you told the police when you got on the highway, who's the first person that stopped on the highway and saw 7 women?
The police.
And the police didn't do nothing. Kentucky police, state troopers did nothing as far as you know.
They put us in 7 different domestic violence houses.
Why did you not go to the news media, a bigger platform?
Why?
I'm not saying you're lying at all. So you're basically saying that the Kentucky Police Department, state troopers or whoever knew that sex trafficking was being done. They got They got the 7 women and they refused to intervene.
Yeah. Yep. Police are not here to keep me safe.
So when they put you guys in separate rooms, then what happened?
Sir, I don't want to talk about this no more.
Okay.
It's not getting anything accomplished. I'm here to talk about the future. I'm a visionary. Walking in the past step by step like a psychiatrist drilling me, I don't like it.
Tell me about the future. What's your future?
Building new Earth.
Tell me about that. What's building a new Earth? What is that?
So have you heard of FAMS?
No, please tell me. What's that?
It stands for Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile Modern Day Society. We're building self-sufficient communities rooted in food forests globally. See, I have bigger things to talk about than the tragedies that happened to me. Talking about them tragedies isn't going to get nothing done. I had to face it and deal with it on my own. I'm used to people not believing me. I'm used to telling the police and them not doing it. I'm used to all this, you know? And so nothing gets done with talking about tragedies like this. It's just interesting for your show. It just gives you views, I guess. And I'm not really here for views. I'm not here for popularity. I'm here to change the world and make it a better place.
Okay, so tell me how you're going to change the world. Tell the viewers, I want to know how you're going to change the world. Like what revelation hit you that says, I'm going to go and try to build these sustainable
communities? Okay, now we're talking about stuff I really like talking about. So I had an out-of-body experience. I had this out-of-body experience, and Mary Magdalene, light beings, all of it's the same, I think. And so I was born with this disease called lupus. And I was real sick for the longest time. I was on like 13 different medications and you name it. It was bad, right? I was real overweight. I was like 240 pounds. I have pictures to prove it. But anyways, I woke up. I had this out-of-body experience happen to me, right? And then I woke up, and so I started like any conspiracy theory. I started like completely opening my eyes up to everything, right? But they told me, these light beings in this out-of-body experience told me that I'm going to come across somebody that speaks of a food forest, and I need to cling to those teachings. Well, never in a million years did I think I would just come across someone's content on TikTok. Then he's talking about building, using a food forest, and it is the way to end hunger and all these different things, right? And I started following him. His name is Elohim Ali. He is my mentor. And he's pretty amazing. And he teaches people to be self-sufficient. We have this architect program, and so it holds 100 people, and us 100 people fund, fuel, and invest in each other's missions. So it's kind of set up just like the elites.
So
we can get the job, you know what I mean? And so I'm getting ready to do my first project.
So your first project is a mixture of what? Are you growing vegetables? Organic? Is it livestock? Exactly what does all this consist of?
No, so food forest. So see, this is when we talk about like stopping hunger for the future of humanity, we have to really look at the original spirit of a seed of the food that we're growing, right? So everything has a spirit. A spirit is an essence, and an essence is a set of attributes that make something what it is. So seeds have an original spirit. For instance, the heads of cabbage that you are getting in the grocery store, right? That is not the original spirit of lettuce. Or lettuce is what I'm talking about, sorry. Wild lettuce that you go outside and forage, that is the original spirit of the lettuce that people's buying. Okay, why is this important? It's important because if the system fails, if the temperature changes any at all, if Mother Earth changes any at all, these seeds won't sustain because it's always going to want to go back to its original state. And when it does that, there is a die-off transformation. Like in the movies, you see like these apocalypse movies, and it's like desert. And they got all these seeds, and they're trying to grow these seeds, and it only grows for like a couple seasons, and then everyone starves. That is because those seeds are going back to its original spirit. And so so wild lettuce is wild lettuce because it rolls with the punches Mother Nature gives it, right? Mm-hmm. But if people plant this stuff that, you're buying at the restaurant, the department store, then it's not going to be sustaining because there will always be a die-off period where the seed goes through its transformation to get back to its original spirit. So we got people in our tribe that is in school to study food forestry, and we're getting ready to travel. We're going to go to like Costa Rica and learn about a food forest in a food forest, and learn about the natural spirits, because most of the stuff that people buy, it's all fake. It's genetically modified. And it's not really, I know there's all kinds of people like, oh, it's fake watermelon. It's not that it's like bad for you. It's the fact that if things go down, it's not sustaining, because that's not the watermelon's original spirit.
When did you get attracted to this ideology method of growing your food, or what you just said, deforestation of growing agriculture stuff, and you're making a community to make it what, free to the community so they could be self-sustainable?
So people can be free. No rent, no water, no electricity. You can just, so people can be free. That's my mission here on Earth.
So how
see why I wanted to talk about something? Yeah, I have a big mission here on Earth.
So how did this guy become your mentor? What was it about him that you identified as your mentor?
Well, I'm in his mentorship and his architect program and FAMS. And so I'm about to show you. Hold on. And so he's the author of this book. It's called FAMS.
Mm-hmm.
It stands for Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile, Modern Day Society. And so it's basically a guide on how to do what we're doing. But then he realized that people has the want to do it. Like, they have the want to do it, but money, no one has money to like buy land and start doing all this stuff, right? So he's teaching people to be self-sufficient. And so I wrote a book too about my out-of-body experience. It'll be out after my platform is built up first. I'm almost there. So my book comes next after I get to 10K on TikTok, and it's for marketing purposes.
So let's go back a little bit to this outer body experience. What were you doing during this outer body experience, and how many times have you had these experiences?
None. That's what's so crazy about it. It's never happened to me before. And people ask me all the time, were you astral projecting, or like, were you like lucid dreaming? I'm like, no, I didn't know what that stuff was. Like, I didn't. I was a coordinator for sober houses. I didn't have time to like astral project. You know what I mean? I was busy. And, the only thing I was telling people for the longest time I died. I didn't know what else happened to me. Did my soul get switched out? Like, what the heck? It was a wild experience because I didn't feel like myself when I came back. In fact, my family stopped talking to me for the longest time. They thought I done went nuts. And I will admit that I was looking back. I was like, it was spiritual psychosis all the way, for sure. You don't think no one can see the void like I did and it not affect them in some sort of a way? You know what I mean?
What do you mean when you say spiritual psychosis?
Oh man, when I came back, because, okay, so, it's like I went to the void and seen light beings, aliens, whatever people want to call them. I seen Mary Magdalene. You know, I seen Yeshua, but it didn't look like Yeshua in the Bible. None of the characters looked like what I was taught and all the things. It was crazy. A well talked to me. Yeah, a well swam up. In this experience, this well, he told me that my ancestors turned themselves into wells to keep from being colonized.
How long did you keep this before and locked inside before you was comfortable to let it out and come to let people know what you had just went through?
What is it?
I said, how long did it take you to share this? Because you said a lot of people would think something's wrong with you, from family members and so forth. So what made you decide to really come out and start sharing it?
Because I realized that our experiences like that, there's so many people waking up right now, and it's what people want to hear about right now is awakenings. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, this is a new world. It is the time. My ears are ringing as I'm saying this. The times are changing, and voices are going to start being heard. And these experiences right now, I don't know. One day, I was sitting there writing the one story into a book, The Seven Sisters. I was writing it into a book. And Spirit told me to stop. That's not what the world needs to hear right now, Misty. Who cares? Honestly, right? That's not what the world needs to hear right now. Write something inspirational. Write about your experience. Write about your out-of-body experience. And so I did.
When you said you saw light beings, were you able to communicate with them? What did they share information with you?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They told me civilization is a zoo for humans. They told me that most of the symptoms that people face in society, they're symptoms of captivity. I mean, anxiety, that is a symptom of captivity. All of it is. All of it is. Only, we give it titles, but those titles are just, it's so crazy. We're going to go ahead and give it titles. We're going to call it this, call it that, and give you medicine for it, but we're not going to question the cage. I think it's time that America starts questioning our environment.
What do you mean?
Because only a society drowning in chaos. These addiction, sex trafficking, all of it. Symptoms of an abnormal environment.
How do we change
these are things. Listen, when you study these indigenous cultures and you really get looking at back before colonization, our ancestors didn't deal with rape. They didn't deal with drug addiction like this. They didn't deal with these things. These are all things that people are dealing with their emotions and all this stuff. They don't realize that they're in captivity.
You'd mentioned a colony of people, a community of people that are coming together for this, for the common good. Let's call it the common good. What belief systems do you guys have in place that makes you guys connected?
That's the beautiful thing. So there don't have to be a common belief system. All we need to do is share the same common goal. And all of our goal is, we don't like what the government's doing. We don't like it. We don't like what's going on. We also know it's a pattern. Okay, metaphysics. I'm a student of the philosophy of order and metaphysics and abstract exploration through Elohim Ali as well.
What is that?
And so I study metaphysics behind. I study the patterns that make things what it is. And one thing is for sure, is the way that our society is definitely a pattern. And patterns repeat itself. You ever read the book, The Fourth Turning?
No.
You might read that book. We're in the fourth turning. It's a pattern. It's inevitable.
Tell me a little bit more about that. What do you mean?
The fourth turning. So anything that takes from nature the way that this system takes from nature will fall. It's inevitable. If we don't do something about it, Mother Earth will. There are sinkholes people are digging for minerals and this and that. And I'm telling you, we will be swallowed up whole. Either we put a stop to it or Mother Earth will.
Wow. How has your life changed?
I'm tired of it. All these synthetic clothes. What? You're giving they took away cotton and linen for the longest time, then boom. And now everyone's awake. Everyone knows not to wear synthetic clothes. That leaks into your brain. It crosses the blood-brain barrier, and then people wonder where diseases are coming from. There's so much that we're doing to Mother Earth that should not be done. Cutting down trees. Are you kidding me? All this? No. So we, in our group, it's big. We're growing big time. I remember when there was like 60 people in the group, and now it's more like, 3,000.
Is this a United States thing or is this global?
It's global.
What's your mission at the end of the day? What's your mission? You're going through so much. You change the narrative. You agree that, things happen, but your bigger purpose is to look for the future. What's your end game for humanity itself and yourself as well?
I would love to see a FAMS in every state, just so humanity would have a choice. So they can see we have to be a beacon of light. No one wants to get out of their comfort zone. And they're used to this. We're programmed to think this is all normal, but it's not normal. There's nothing normal about working and giving your energy away to a system that could care less about you. That is not normal. It is not normal to take from Mother Earth and take, test on these animals. Modern agriculture, don't get me started. Modern agriculture, in fact, the Antichrist is the system in general and the elites running the show.
How do you know that?
Well, I mean, it's my opinion, of course, but metaphysically, when you look at it, modern agriculture, centralized government, and organized religion. When you put all three of those things together, you will have disaster. We're looking at it. There's nothing good comes from war. There's not all these cycles. All I see is patterns.
You mentioned almost like an agricultural project, but let's get real. You need funding. You need land to make all this stuff possible. How is this being accommodated to make your program work?
Well, I'm learning. I'm in the midst of it. I'm proof that all of his programs work literally. And so, also we go into partnership with people. And so like my project that I'm getting ready to go do now. Here's the thing though. You can't just make a bunch of communities and the government going to be like, okay, you can't just do that. So we work with the government, right? And so, to every so many small scale FAMs, there has to be a large scale FAMs. Mm-hmm. And we have to have a large scale FAMs and that's anywhere, I'm going to say, 100 to 1,000 acres of land. The large scale FAMs is what's going to have our medical facility in it. And so to every small scale FAMs, which is, I don't know, 30 acres to 100 acres, we have to have a large one. So we're focusing right now on getting the large one built, and so we can build more small ones.
Sounds like you really got your stuff in order. Yeah, seems like you got a good sense of direction.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. How can the viewers reach out to you and know more about your project, support you, and the whole 9 yards? How can they reach out to you?
So my TikTok is Mission Consumed. It's the name of my book. And I'm really good with getting back with people. You know, like if they message me on TikTok, I usually message back because I have a mission to, accomplish. And I know that there's people out there that has fire in them just the same as I do me.
Now, when is the book supposed to come out?
And so I'm working on my page right now and getting to 10K first, and then it comes out. And so the architect program, part of that is a best time selling book on Amazon. And so Elohim is a 5-time best selling author. He's been self-sufficient for, I couldn't tell you how many years. He's done all the things. Oh, he just got off a TED Talk talking about this. This is big. Like this is TED Talk big.
Really?
And I'm going to be on TED Talk too. So that's in my future. He's my mentor that's doing it all, helping me with it all.
It sounds like a winner.
In fact, he's the one that gave me the opportunity that I have now. So.
Wow. Misty,
yeah.
Thank you so much for taking time
You're
out
welcome.
on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe, like, share, follow. Remember, touching that button can change the life of not only you, but other individuals as well. This has been another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show.
Thank you.